Okay, so we're here at Slush. Welcome everybody here at the Climate-KIC booth right next to the founder stage. We will do a quick round of introductions, and I would say just hand the mic to each other, and we'll start with Roy Wekkolen.
Hi, my name is Roy and I'm the founder of Circular IQ.
I'm Susan Kim Homiska. I'm the founder of Handetic Technologies.
I'm Scott Simpson. I'm the managing director of Indie Nature.
So hi everyone, I'm Dimitrios. I'm the co-founder of Medusoil.
Okay, well, welcome. So we're here at Slush in Finland, one of the biggest startup conferences, I would say, in Europe. Why are you here besides the pitch, and what do you expect from Slush?
Yes, you won't build a business if you don't talk to people, and Slush is an event where you exactly reach out to different people, a very diverse audience of partners, investors, and you just talk to people, and you come up with nice things. That was the motivation behind us here in Slush.
Yeah, I agree with Dimitri. We're here to raise capital, so we're having investors meetings to give equity away to private investors, but we're also talking to people in our supply chain as well who are interested in investing. It's a good place for us, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Well, I originally was coming for investment, but we closed around just before I arrived. But the main reason I came is also to get the energy that part of being part of the startup community gives you. The inspiration that from listening to the speeches of people who've done it before, but also the support you get from other startups, just the validation, the helping each other, just that vibrancy and energy. It just gives you that little extra oomph to keep going.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to answer this question, being the fourth one. But apart from participating in the venture competition as one of the European top 30 Climate-KIC startups, we're hoping to secure the last 25% of our funding round. So we have a number of meetings lined up, so that's one reason for being here. And the other one is to interact with a number of our peers and friends and see if we can establish partnerships. And I've been here today, and I think it's a very fertile ground to do that.
Okay. Now, you three are all in the area of circular economy. This conference is mainly about IT, tech, mainstream topics. How big are your challenges in the circular economy area? Like, how do you feel as a startup in comparison to most of the other areas that are represented here? Where do you see the challenges, basically?
Yeah, sometimes I feel a little bit lost in a lot of the startup conferences or meetings has a big focus on digital and on IoT, gaming, things like VR. And so being a hardware company in a more traditional business of we manufacture technologies that converts waste plastic to fully recycled diesel and gasoline. So there are big, huge projects with big installations, and so sometimes I feel like, is this the right place and venue? But the challenges of having a startup are still similar. Raising the money, getting the confidence in and belief in your technology and in us as a company to invest and to take a chance on the technology to move forward. It is, like I said, it is a little bit of a challenge to cut through the noise, but particularly for me with being relating to waste plastic, it's a very topical issue right now, and because of that we are able to cut through some of the noise.
So we're operating in the construction materials sector, and it's a quite conservative sector. It's quite hard to disrupt. So we have to sell to the bottom line, cost primarily. And the kind of capex we're trying to raise is quite significant. So we're talking to VCs venture capitalists are primarily not so interested in soft impacts, so I need to start with selling it as a good business proposition first. But I'm getting encouragement from seeing other people in the sector getting traction and moving forward. And we've got policy drivers. We're based in Scotland, so there's some policy drivers behind us which are very helpful and encouraging. Yeah.
You're not in circular economy, but similar challenges,
Sure,
right?
yeah. I mean, indeed, Slush had some big headlines around digital, and we've seen all the keynotes, touching this industry. But the audience is very diverse. I'm really surprised. Browsing the matchmaking tool of over 9,000 registered attendees, and you can find some really relevant backgrounds. I'm really surprised by the diversity of the attendees.
And you fit right in here with your software, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we're kind of in the sweet spot, having developed software, so enterprise solution for tackling sustainability issues, actually helping our customers to use their purchasing power to achieve their sustainability goals. So yeah, we feel very much at home, and it's true that there's a lot of, let's say, emphasis on digitization, on tech, in combination with the startup scene. I think that's maybe also due to, let's say, the Silicon Valley kind of populism that's there. But I'm very happy to also see circular economy topics and sustainability topics rising on the agenda, because I think if we join and interlink these two with each other, then we're really in a good place to achieve something beautiful.
You're one of the only, I would say, climate startups pitching in the 100 here. How has that been, and what's the response? And do you feel like they're looking at you like you're like the strange bird in the nest, or what is the feedback?
Yeah. So today I had a meeting, and from someone investing mainly in different sectors, it could be digital, health tech, and I've been told you are the black sheep of my meeting list because you do something I've never heard of, because your website looks, it's clear what you do and it's something I've never heard of. And at the end of the day, this is the message we get across, that technology and innovation has no boundaries, right? And if we really want to have an impact, we have to look outside of the box and the labels. Sometimes we see in this in these situations, in startup conferences and summits.
Now, how do you get investors or partners to be interested in what you do when they don't know what you do, or when they ask you things like, what do you actually do, and they don't understand it? What has been your experience? What helps in order to make that process easier,
Yeah, I think in our experience, what helps is really make it as simple as possible. And that's not just what you do, but also the investment case behind it. And the other thing is build in, let's say, a lot of supporting evidence. The more you can underpin and demonstrate that you have traction, you have your sales going on, the better it works. In the end, even for the impact investors, it's about the investment case, which is logical. But the better you can get that across, the more likely you'll be successful.
Making money, but saving the world, basically, and then it's sold. Okay. What role is ClimateKIC playing in you growing your businesses?
ClimateKIC, I'm based in Scotland. ClimateKIC's been absolutely fantastic for startups like myself. We're through to just near the end of the third accelerator. I think they came along at the right time for us, because we had no business experience at this scale, so they taught us how to scale up and grow, revised and refined our business plan, and gave me confidence to pitch. We secured huge amounts of investment thanks to them, and grant investment and private investment, so it's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
For us, we are further along in our path, and so what they helped us with is some of the training that they provide in kind of more other areas, such as contract negotiations, or with not just with investors, but we just recently had a contract training where they demonstrated how important, like, a couple of words made a difference in the entire legality of, that clause, or some of the business techniques. That was very helpful. Also, being able to refine the message that we're sending, that was also helpful. And the community is really wonderful. Some of the times when we got the message about the training, I thought, oh my God, I don't have time for this. We have this to go out, and we have this engineering work that needs to be done, or this lease that needs to be done. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. But every time I've gone, I've been so happy, and I've really received a lot of value for the time I spent there. So I'm really happy about it.
Right now, last question of the round is: would you start over again? Oh, if you start over again, would you do the same thing?
I will start over again at some point. It's been such an exciting journey, and going back to your question about the impact of ClimateKIC on Medusoil, actually, this feeling of having a tangible, impact and belonging in this community that really can change incrementally, but still change some part of the world is just fascinating. So there's no question, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah.
I would do it again, but my wife probably wouldn't let me. It's pretty exhausting. It's very stressful, but I love my business. Over 2 years ago when we were starting, I thought we were mad to bring these products to market. A very difficult product to bring to market, but we've been so successful, partly with the help of ClimateKIC. I would gladly do it again. I love my business. Yeah.
That's so funny. There was one point a while ago, earlier in the year, near the beginning of the year, where I asked myself that very question, because I was hesitating, because I needed to put another big tranche of my own money into the company. And I was thinking, gosh, do I really, this is so much work and so tiring and so stressful. It's exciting, but there's risk, and do I do it? And I exactly asked myself that. Okay, let's step back. Because sometimes when you're making decisions, you continue because of momentum, right? Oh, I've already put in so much money, I've already put in so much time. But asking myself that question, I said, would I do this again? And I said, yeah. So I move forward.
Yeah, well, for me, it's not really a question. I'm really convinced that what we do is needed. That transparency is now absent. We need to know what's in products, what's in materials, if we ever are to retain their value and reuse them. And then that's kind of my mission, and that's what we do. So I definitely do it again. And ClimateKIC also played a very, let's say, important role in our development as a startup. We just recently finished stage 3 as part of the Benelux ClimateKIC group, and we're very happy to have participated. We had access to wonderful mentors, very good peer-to-peer sessions, and a very high level, let's say, education platform around it as well. So very happy to have gotten that support on our way, because otherwise it would have been so much more difficult, because as an entrepreneur you're convinced about your product and you know something about what needs to happen to make it stand out, but that doesn't mean you're an expert on all the other stuff that needs to happen as well to make it into a successful business. And that's where I think ClimateKIC really plays an important role.
Last and final question to you. You have a pitch now in the final 15 startups. How has that journey been? Like, just give us a brief kind of experience report.
Yeah. I mean, since we're here, why not do it, right? since I don't know, I've met maybe 10 people already today. I'm gonna meet another 10 people tomorrow. Since we're here, we can also, take the great big scene. But no, honestly, it's really important to raise awareness about what you do, and exposure is the A and Z when you're in this event. So it's a great opportunity, and I think in 45 minutes it's going to happen. So I will enjoy it, and I hope to share some good story about Medisoil.
Okay, well, good luck. We'll cross our fingers, and thank you to all.